in the next 20 years that your book helped carry the ball, if you will? I'm using the American football metaphor there. Where do you hope that this takes the conversation for those that read it, that they might be able to do as a result of this? And this question is for both of you, but I'm going to have Sabrina answer first. That's okay.
I hope it sparks more imagination for what could be, like we weren't trying to be the end all be all. I mean, the book captures a moment in time, right? All authors deal with that. It's like, oh, there's things I'm like, oh, I wish I could say that differently now, but oh, well, the book's already in print, but that's the hope, is that I think, Linson, you just said this earlier, like hoping that like others can add on to the conversation and bring more, and that it'll get refined, and that there'll be more stories, right? Like that other communities can also be more represented through whether it's books or other venues, but and that I think that Asian American Christians of all backgrounds would see more of what they have to bring, to the global church. Not in a like, now you have to bring your thing, like not in an obligate, but like, I think for a long time it's been the internalized racism of like white stuff is better, or other people's stuff is better. I think the process of even writing for me was so challenging, partly because it was like putting my voice out there, and it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to put my voice out there, because it opens it to a lot of critique. It opens but yeah. And is my voice worth hearing? All those things. I think all that is for many Asian Americans, can be very strong, because it's just all this internalized racism. And, so I hope there's just a lot more, and more ways that stories that don't fit the like majority narratives, even of Asian America, right, might be able to be shared, and we can all learn from them. I hope it shows folks there's other ways of other stories of following Jesus, like we were writing for Asian Americans, but we also know that, and invite folks who aren't Asian American to read the book, because we think there's stuff for people to learn from it. But we were really trying to write, like, keep that Asian American audience in mind, but also not be too, not be too insider that somebody else couldn't read it and, know what we were talking about. So
I want to agree with Sabrina. I want to see an activation of more, right? I just want to see more Asian Americans kind of feeling encouraged, fan into flame gifts that they want to bring, to the table. And so I just want to see more. And so around that, but then I also want to see young Asian Americans own who they are in the country, and who they are in their own space and in their own friend groups. So, like, it's not okay at the end of the day, as you follow Jesus, to be, like substandard white. That's not the goal, right? Or I don't know, maybe you're really into certain gospel or, biblical streams, and it's calling you to be honorary Black, and like all of those things are I get it, and there's adjacency to those communities and stuff, but God actually still wants you to be who you really are, like owning yourself, and owning all the beautiful complexity that God was trying to bring together by making you, and seeing that. And so, like, for example, one thing that kind of bothers me is, like, if I see an Indian church somewhere in the city and I'm getting to know them, how they don't own themselves. They're somehow like second class. They don't belong. It's like they don't even know why they're there. I don't like to see that. But I also don't like to see Indian Americans kind of in the back rows of mega churches, and you see them, they're like, where, and like you were asking your friend, like, why are you here? And they don't own that either, and so my hope is that they will be activated and own who they are, and God will use somehow the combination of those two things. not just to bless our own people, but to bless all people in America, the global church, the non-Christians. I think there's an expression of who God is that he wants to express through Asian Americans that will bless all people. So I really hope we get to a space like that, you know.
That's
So.
good.